Hello, hello. I apologize for the weird silence. My genius self forgot to put the game title. There we go. So true story. My last Pokemon run, I left the Final Fantasy 5 tags in there. I swear to you, that comes into my headphones so loud. I'm gonna go deaf in my right ear. But okay, all right. That's neither here nor there. Going deaf, going deaf for you all. So that boundless energy I was talking about in the last video, um, it went away. I ended up sleeping. Like I'm a little tired. This was around like 6 p.m. Um, it's now almost 3 a.m. And normally I have to take medication to help me sleep. Or stay asleep, I should say. Because I don't normally sleep. I would say that I have a series of naps that last anywhere from, 4 to 8 hours. But I wouldn't call that sleeping, right? Let me see something. We should be nowhere close to a level. Okay. So it's pretty incredible that I was able to sleep like that naturally. So I don't know if I just wore myself out, but here's the thing. So I was thinking about the whole thrust of this whole run being used to support Doctors Without Borders. If I could somehow, for the next, 20 hours, or however long it takes me to beat this, if I could somehow use it as an opportunity to talk about various uh, physical and mental health issues that I may or may not have some expert insight in. Um, so I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. It's supposed to be a routine physical, I think, but there's nothing routine about this visit. So I had them throw the kitchen sink at my last lab order, which is a funny story in and of itself, because they didn't send all the labs the first time, and the people that do the lab draws and the actual doctor's office are in the same building. So luckily, I was able to, go back to the doctor's office and say, hey, listen, you didn't send the right labs. But this is after they had done the draws. So and they keep it freaking cold in the lab for reasons that I don't fully understand. Anyway, so they had to stick me like 5 different times. 3 in one arm, 2 in another, just to find a vein that was usable. It's not like, I'm a heroin addict or, had some other IV drug abuse or use issues, right? It's just that it was so cold, my veins were shrunk down to my bones. But I made sure that they took certain labs. Yeah. Silence one of my fighters is a good idea. Anyway, I have a thyroid condition, which is not, it's kind of difficult to call it a thyroid condition if you understand it correctly, but that protect spell is annoying. Ooh. 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 I don't appreciate that. No. Sorry. Where was I? What was I saying? Yeah, it's actually an autoimmune disorder is what it is. It just so happens to affect the thyroid specifically. It's called Graves' disease. And it's not because it can kill you, which I suppose it could. But I think the name of the person that found it, I think his last name was Graves. As long as he doesn't... Bruh. Stop. Oh, both of my antidotes, huh? We're gonna have to stock up on antidotes. I have never had this problem. Nope. Why are you... No, don't cure yourself. Listen, I'm abusing the reverse button today. I can't sit here and have this conversation with you about something important and play the game at the same time, probably. Bronze armor. Okay. Anyway, Graves' disease is an autoimmune disorder that causes your thyroid to think that it's not sending out enough thyroid hormone when it really is. And that hormone modulates a lot of your metabolic processes. It makes you warm, like it increases your overall like sense of like what's hot and what's cold. So you could be like I was in a full-blown Graves flare once, and oh yeah, sorry. Let's do this too. You are getting the bronze armor. What was I gonna say? Oh, it also affects your... That's not what I... Listen. How did she get to attack first? Y'all saw that, right? Anyway, it basically jacks up your metabolism. You're hungry for no good reason. But I have a tendency to ignore my stomach. I have also have irritable bowel syndrome, and so a lot of times my body thinks I'm hungry when I'm not. My stomach makes weird noises, and I learn to ignore it. On top of that, because of migraines that I have, I also do not trust when my body tells me that I'm hungry or not. I just eat when I'm supposed to eat. right? Um, it's complicated. We got 20 hours. We can blow on that, okay? Focus on the graves thing first, though. So it jacks up your metabolism, makes you hungry, right? When you don't necessarily feel like you feel like you're some kind of pregnant, basically. Um, so that's a fun challenge. Where's the item shop? Oh. Also, I will say that my tendency is to refer to items and places as they were named in the original game. So earlier I was referring to this, I think it's like Kerwin or Irwin, and I couldn't remember the name of it. One of the reasons that I can't remember the name of stuff is that switching between these two versions of the game will mess with your head. Anyway, so it can also make you a tad more aggressive. I'm sure that some of my friends and family have noticed this a little more than others lately. But not so much like I want to rip your head off kind of aggressive, though I have had moments akin to that, we'll say. It's just more like impulsive or moody, like whatever you think is important needs to be done right now, right? That kind of thing. Actually, hmm. Well, as long as she's up front. Okay, that should be fun. Again, the better way to look at it, in my opinion, is um, it's somewhere between like pseudo pregnancy and like pseudomania, right? Whereas psychologically, mania is characterized by impulsive behavior, um, some range of agitation, um, and extreme happiness, some range between the two. Um, where the opposite of which is depression, right? Which is characterized by a deflated sense of self. Um, so you can see kind of the balance there. And so a lot of people that have thyroid problems, the majority of them tend to actually have hypothyroidism, low thyroid. So they're very depressive. They can be sluggish, slow of mind. Um, they can have a tendency towards towards depression, like the crying end of anxiety. Like I've because I've been going through what is apparently a Graves flare for a couple of months now. Some months we'll say. I've had like what feels like panic attacks, just excessive amounts of anxiety for what apparently is no good reason, just like a split second, emotional response, whereas normally, I at least have a few seconds to, a few days to think about things. My response might be a little quicker than normal. And that might also explain why, as I explained in my last video, that I suddenly stopped needing caffeine altogether. Because if I started to drink coffee, for instance, I would feel so energized that it's almost like I was gonna have a panic attack, that I was crawling out of my own skin, which is very unusual for someone that was basically a caffeine addict up until that point, right? So having looked at my blood work before my doctor has had a chance to explain it to me tomorrow, I know where this is going, which is good because I've been here before. I've experienced it before. But like I said, the opposite can be true for people with, let's say, Hashimoto's disease, which is a condition much like Graves'. It's an autoimmune disorder that causes the thyroid to underproduce thyroid hormone. So they could eat, one meal a day and feel full and still gain, pounds, what seems like pounds a day. And that's a real challenge for them. And honestly, I've experienced that before because I've had a Graves' flare in the past, and that has caused a overreaction based on the treatment. So, the drugs that they put you on to fix this problem cause a reduction in your thyroid production, and they're supposed to test you every few months, but apparently my body responds very quickly to this treatment, a lot more quickly than they test my blood. Okay. So my thyroid level got like stupid low, and that's when I started drinking coffee again, actually, because I was like, I am so tired. I don't understand. Like, I get 10 hours of sleep a day. I get to work and I'm tired. I'm yawning all the time. I just felt like I could sleep anywhere at any time. And when I went to the doctor, he looked at my lab work and he looked at me. He was like, "How are you still awake right now? Like, how are you still functioning?" I was like, "I don't know. I drink several cups of coffee a day." He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need you to stop taking that thyroid medication because it's no longer helping you. It's hurting you now." I'm like, "Okay, all right." So I'm not really excited about the side effects long term. I may have to pay out of pocket for more tests just to make sure that I'm not functionally overdosing on this thyroid medication. One more. I realize that this level up really isn't that necessary, but I do it anyway, just because it makes the game a little easier. And because why not? Gives me a chance to talk to you about medical things that you didn't care about. Alright. Yeah, but most people, that's exactly where I wanted to go. Most people, they're not that knowledgeable about thyroid issues. Chances that that you either have or know someone with a thyroid issue is pretty high, but the education level is pretty low. And most people that, like I said, most people that do have thyroid issues have low thyroid. Um, so what tends to be the course of treatment on that is a destruction of the thyroid chemically, like with radioactive iodine, and then they will give you synthetic um, thyroid hormone to sustain you for the rest of your life. So instead of your thyroid producing the hormone you need to function, you just take it every day by pill. It's not ideal, but it's better than suffering with inconsistently low thyroid. With high thyroid issues, because it jacks up your metabolism, it also messes with your heart. So I've had like incredible weird fluctuations in my heart rate as well as um, uh, my blood pressure, especially my blood pressure, like all over the map. So, luckily I already have medication for anxiety and for my heart. So, and on top of that, I've been working with the same doctor for many years, and so he trusts me enough to monitor my own symptoms as well as take the medication I need to not do so much damage to my heart, among other things. I really don't like the auto target in this game. I feel like I need to slow down, let them kill the target, and then kind of pick my next target because it's been something of a waste. All right. But yeah, the heart medication, you're really not supposed to mess with it. Like if you take the same amount every day, you take the same amount every day. But if I'm getting messed up to the point where I feel like, all right, I need to take more of this, right? It's kind of a red flag. If all of a sudden the heart medication stops working, that should be a red flag to the doctor. Like, hey, okay, let's check the thyroid levels, right? And so that's kind of where we were at with our last visit. And the other thing you have to rule out too, of course, like I said, well, we can rule out pregnancy in my case. I think that would be a bit of a challenge to accomplish. But you know, with my mental health history, it would not be uh, terribly inappropriate to assume that um, I was having some kind of hypomanic or manic episode. So some of the symptoms of high thyroid do mirror that of like legitimate mental illness. So you're gonna have to rule out that possibility. So that's a valid concern. And the same goes for if your thyroid is too low because of the depression that it can cause, right? You have to rule out whether or not it's, the unfortunate bit is that a lot of people that suffer from bipolar disorder also happen to suffer from some kind of thyroid issue. Usually it's hypothyroid, and they don't play very well together, especially because they can mimic each other in presentation. So there's a lot of there's a lot of serious thought that has to go into how you proceed with treatment for one or the other, because the conditions that you would normally treat or I should say the presentations that you would normally treat a mental illness for. Let's say with anxiety or mania or something like this. Like you don't want to treat those specific conditions if they're being caused by the thyroid, right? Because then you're just masking symptoms. And the same with me, like increasing my heart medication or increasing my anxiety medication just to be able to function. I'm not running through here because you can run through these poison plants, and I don't have time. Um, but yeah, that's a curious challenge when it comes to thyroid conditions. Being able to balance symptom management versus treating the underlying condition. And the unfortunate bit too is when they overlap. So in my particular case, I can identify a particular stressor, let's say, at the end of the year 2020, and then again in okay, the evasion rate on these cockatrices are really. I don't have time for this. There's a reason that I bought. There's a reason that I bought those gold needles. I should just run from these things. I don't think they're worth the experience you get from them. But well, I don't know anymore. We're all about to gain a level though. That's cool. Oh no, we're gonna gain that level before. Oh, this is a fun place to work up. Let's do this. Here we go. Um, what was I saying? I know I was saying something about the overlap between the physical and mental. The challenge is that oh no, it wasn't. So, bruh, 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 miss, yeah. Um, what was I gonna go into? So, for Graves, uh, it's very difficult to identify in some cases what the trigger was, right? It's an autoimmune disorder, so usually there's um, some kind of trigger. Often we don't know what it is. Um, it could be stress. It could be other kinds of illness, right? That precipitate that. Um, I wouldn't say that I have a quote unquote high stress job, but it is stressful on my body because I work as an overnight supervisor, right? So I don't have a natural circadian rhythm anyway, but I will ultimately sometimes end up working double shifts multiple times in a week overnight, which kind of it messes with the mind, it messes with the body. It's not the best idea, we'll say. I don't think we need to use a tent actually. I think that's a bit of a waste. Let's just move forward from here. But yeah, back in December of last year, there was definitely a very specific trigger in my life, very stressful moment or period. And then in February this year, something very related to that did happen, and high stress level for me as well. So, it's difficult to say, all right, point your finger at that and blame that. But in my case, at least I have some reasonable explanation as to why this might have happened or why I might have in a certain sense. Um, Relapse, I don't think is the technical term, um, but why I'm having another one of these flares. Like 100% of the time that I've had these flares, I've had very specific stressors. Um, why? Ooh, why? I've never had to use the Phoenix down this early in the game before. That was totally unnecessary. She targeted Lena twice. Also, does anyone not notice how freakishly tall Majisa is? I think her thighs are about like 10 feet long. That's not what I wanted at all. Bruh, let me get my life together. Well, that flashing is ridiculous. I apologize. I'm a, I'm a huge fan of casting safe when it's really not necessary. Or protect as it's called in this game. I'm glad that she spread it out. But that boundless energy that I was talking about earlier, I was cleaning the house. I was like, alright, I finally felt like doing something important. Bruh. This is going to be the most challenging Majisa Forza fight I've ever had. Why? Bruh. I don't. What's happening here? What's really happening here? Just for the record, I tend to reverse the game when I've made a mistake, not necessarily when I get a result I don't like. Hence why when Lena died, I didn't just reverse it to re-roll the move or whatever. If I'm sitting here talking to you, ooh. This whip is pretty nice, to be honest. As I stated, pretty nice. So yeah, so when I was cleaning the house earlier, I was like, wow, I actually feel good for once. It's been a while since I've actually felt like, I don't want to say feel alive, but I just felt like more in my body, like I was stable. Right? Good to go, right? Problem with that is that it doesn't last very long. So when I was in the middle of my stream earlier about to fall asleep, I said, wait a second, this is not good. So if you actually look up some of the symptoms of people who are suffering with Graves' disease, that's one of the things that they'll talk about or that you can read about. is that there's this like sense of like I could bench press my house, right? Which is again why it seems a bit like pseudo manic or whatever. Um, the, the issue, or I guess the differentiating issue for most people who are suffering with this, and possibly also bipolar disorder, is that feeling like you can bench press your house normally lasts for, a solid, 8, 12, 18 hours, right? Something like that. Okay, we'll come back there. Oh, don't ask me what I'm doing here. I think that's the way out. Is there anything up and around that I can do? No? Okay. Complete waste of time. Nice. I can't remember everything about this game. Alright, I know that this will take me to... Like, I don't want to fall down. Yep. But this should take me to... Shiva's Tower, I think. Yeah. I don't want that. Oh, okay. I see what they did there. Okay. We'll come back. We'll come back to Shiva's Tower. We'll need some rods first. But yeah, that sense of boundless energy when you have Graves' disease might last, but for a much shorter duration of time, and then is followed by an unusual amount of fatigue, because basically your body is giving out, right? So you have all this what's functionally stress hormone flowing through your body, right? You're constantly consuming food for more energy because your body's basically eating itself alive. If you don't, like, I've lost a significant amount of weight over the last couple of months because I've been eating the same amount of food, right? But I've been eating it like at the same time. Like, how to explain this? Like, my thyroid levels have been going up, but my food consumption has remained the same. So my body has had to consume itself basically to make up the difference. So I've lost a little bit of weight that way. Let's get rid of this music. I apologize. All right. I don't think there's anything up here. I'm only in this for the treasure. If you've never seen me do a run before, you know that that's all I'm in for. It's 100% my priority in this game. Give me the treasure. So there's that. So your body's consuming itself to make up for the lack of resources. So one of the things that I've actually started doing is intentionally consuming like electrolyte products and stuff like this, so that because I was experiencing symptoms of dehydration, even though I thought I was pretty well hydrated. I don't know. Again, that's something you can see in your heart rate. You can see it in your blood pressure and how they relate to one another. Sometimes you can see they go, oh, well, maybe that person's dehydrated, and that's kind of the mentality that I had there. So I've had to balance out my own electrolytes, which is interesting. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. Okay, I want you out of my way. And I had noticed too that it's not so much that I was hungry all the time, it's that when I was eating, is that I couldn't stop eating. It's like the strangest thing. Like it would, again, think of a pregnant person that you've either been or known, right? And you're like, what is wrong with them? Why are they eating like that? Um, like in a certain sense, because pregnant folk are eating for two, right? That's what having hyperthyroidism feels like. It feels like you're eating for two. Um, okay, we want two of these. Martial artist. I don't know what a dancer can wear. I'm pretty sure we'll have like something better by the time we get dancer, but I'll hold on to one anyway. Alright, so actually, let's give him the Mithril Helm. He's going to be our very slow person. Oh, there's no slowdown if they're already equipped with a shield. Nothing, huh? Okay. Hmm. Oh, I didn't buy any iron armor. Okay, I was wondering why I had so much money. um, yeah. I think the Kimbogi is actually better overall, but we'll keep that as is. But yeah, I'll catch myself. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll eat a couple of these chips real quick. I eat 2 chips. I'm like, all right, good. And like 10 minutes later, half of this bag is gone. Like, gone, gone. Like, where did it go? And meanwhile, it causes my blood sugar to shoot up because I just ate a whole bag of chips. And then my blood sugar shoots straight back down. And my body's like, hey, you got more of those chips? What? What do you mean do I have more of those chips? I'm a huge fan of the axe. I like the range on the combat. Let's sell some stuff though. Okay, power drink can go. Knife can go. Is that fair? There we go. Got robot. At the end of the day, none of our team. I almost said staff members. None of our team is going to be able to equip those weapons. Well, yeah, but okay, yeah. By the time that we have Dancer, it'll be there'll be better knives available, and Geomancer for that matter. It's gonna be. Listen, can we just take a brief moment to talk about how garbage this run is gonna be? Geomancer is a support class that you only use because you want support abilities. You learn the abilities and then you move on with your life. Okay. And we're going to be going through the entire run with one of these. Like, my feelings are hurt in advance. Your feelings should be hurt in advance. That you would have to watch such foolishness. Oh, I'm a big brain genius. Hold on. There we go. I was going in the wrong door. Wrong place entirely. Which, you know, if my friends or family knew exactly what I was going through health-wise, they probably would, I think they would have a better understanding of why I've been acting the way that I have recently. Especially when it comes to eating. Like, people just look at me crazy when, instead of, like, eating food like a normal person, if I ever feel like I need to eat, it's, like, overwhelming. And so I'll just eat the whole thing all at once. I really shouldn't have bought those cotton ropes, huh? That's okay. No. Okay, you know what? See, I'm not even gonna reverse it. I'm just gonna take it. Oh my goodness. Can we just talk about how much I don't want to go back up? There we go. So when they redid this soundtrack, they resampled. They resampled some things. And when they resampled the bass, the tone in it is really, it's nice, but it has a very difficult time achieving its intended target, we'll say. That move takes forever. So when it gets down into the lower register, it's actually that's like, it gets muddy. The tone is very muddy. If they both breathwing us, this is gonna be a problem. Okay. I didn't heal after the last battle. Alright, yeah, go make a sandwich. It's time for breathwing. Oh my goodness. Alright. Mm-hmm. Flame Rod. They can drop Flame Rod? It may be possible to get Shiva before we, it may be possible to get Shiva before we even go to, whatever it's called. Um, Karnak. So we can just drop that Fire Rod. Looks kind of like a unicorn bat zombie. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I don't think that I don't think this level up here is that necessary. But just because we can, and just because there's a chance that the Ricard Mage might actually longsword, okay? Nice teamwork, guys. Put me to sleep and wake me back up. Hmm. Alright. Bruh, why do they always come for her? Chill out. At some point, Gorilla is actually supposed to attack us. There's something not right about his AI or something. There we go. That's what I was expecting earlier. Just a bunch of attacks. There we go. I mean, we'll survive it now. Easy. This battle should be about over. I don't think it has, but it's got between like 500 and, what, 1,000 HP or something? Yeah. Like I said, all that working up was not necessary, but it made for good conversation, right? I swear, I feel like it's been 10 years since I played as a time mage. I don't want the silver specs. She doesn't need protection from blind. Now granted, maybe the level up will be necessary for the Shiva fight, I don't know. I do want to try that nasty little matchup that they proposed. So blue mage, berserker, thief, and mystic knight. It seems like it'd be a real hoot. Again, berserker is one of those support classes that you only use long enough to get their abilities, or, you know, stat boost, whatever. Eventually we'll learn the Sildra summon, which if I recall correctly is nice. Okay, let's fly. First of all. Well, you know what? We're gonna need to come back here anyway, once we learn life. because that makes the Gil's Merca, or whatever it's called in this game, exchange, profitable. You really don't want to have to throw a whole bunch of Phoenix Downs at it. Did I save? Seems like a really irresponsible thing to do. Yeah, there we go. Did y'all catch me walking on the top of the castle like that? Takes skill. Let's talk to the queen first. Where the queen at? Where the queen at? Oh, sorry. I gave him a whole sex change. Where the king at? Also, you'd think the earth crystal might be... Like, everyone that comes over on these, I'm a big brain genius. Everyone that comes over on these meteorites is coming from a world that mirrors our own, okay? But Galef is, he represents the earth crystal, right? You know what? I am real big brain. I'm over here thinking that summoners only learn skills from monsters that they fight. Like this is Final Fantasy IV or something. Hold on. We need to go get some, like, legit summons. Bruh. I do apologize. I apologize. I apologize. I forgot that there was actually some utility to summoners. Like, dropping rods is not my only option. When I saw that earlier, I just kind of ignored it. I'm so used to not playing with summoners. Okay. Do I remember what they do? No, I do not. But I do know... I do know the Chocobo does damage. I think the others, like Sylph, have something to do with like absorbing MP, and Remora with HP maybe? I mean, we could test them out. Oh, that was HP. Okay, that's nice. And then what is Remora? I have no idea what just happened. Does that cast Paralyze or something? See that low note? It's so muddy. Whoa. That chocobo is emaciated. Alright. Is it cheap to drop the rod? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. Why don't you just beat up on him then? But they're all weak to fire, so let them have it. Let them have it. Why? Why are you... Boom. Let's get out of here. I wonder if that's going to be enough so that when we are going to Karnak and we face the Karnak wolves, whatever they're called in this game, is that going to be enough for a kill for all? Because they're weak against fire. Usually a fire rod equipped with a level 1 fire spell is enough to knock them out if you're at a high enough level. All things ideal, you want to be at least level 16 before you go into the fire ship, because there is a monster there that will whoop on you if you are level 15, because it has level 5 doom. No, I'm not. I'm thinking of the library, actually. I'm thinking too far ahead. Disregard, disregard. Yeah, I'm not looking at a guide for this. I'm going by what left in my big brain. Let's go. So, here's something I've never considered in all the years I've played this game. Why is there a teleportation system between these two meteorites? Oh, I'm sorry, I never finished my thought from earlier. So, Galef is supposed to represent the crystal of Earth, but his soldiers from his world showed up when the crystal of water was in danger. Am I the only one that finds that interesting? That they don't line up perfectly? Oh my goodness, I may have to use the fast forward button. Yo! It's too much. It's too much, everyone. It's too much. I apologize in advance. We're gonna get the whole fast forward button on this. Hmm. I really don't like to abuse the fast forward rewind button, but look, this is with it being fast forwarded, okay? That took 6 years. They should gain a level soon. Yep. Okay, so here's gonna be the test. Is it possible for the Karnak? Yeah. Alright. Can this do it? It can do it. It just takes forever. Excellent. Our ability to grind is saved by the summoner. I hope you don't mind me using this fast forward button a gazillion times. Because that's not gonna be the first or the last time we do this. Can we just run? This thing is a waste of our time. Also, this is just a time sequence. I think it waits until the music loops once before Sid stops running into the wall up there. Also, what I will say is funny about having jacked up thyroid numbers is that I have this really weird shake in my hand, which again is something that's normally associated as well with some forms of, or some presentations of mania, right? So it's kind of, or you say agitation or anxiety that goes beyond like natural nervousness, we'll say. Um, One moment. It's occasionally why my fingers don't do exactly what I told them to do while playing these games. But I'm not going to hide behind that as an excuse. It's just something that occurred to me the other day. I was shooting a video with my phone and could not for the life of me keep my hand still enough to take a good video. It was still funny for what it was. I saw a goose sitting on top of an office building. I was like, let me take a video of this real quick because no one's going to believe me if I say I saw a goose camped out on top of an office building. If I didn't want to take a photo, I want to take a video. And that video looked like I was like riding on top of a washing machine that was off balance. Like it was a whole mess. It's not because I was particularly anxious, right? It's not because I was particularly excited, right? It's not because I was over medicated or under medicated, as one might expect from someone with incredibly shaky hands, right? Because let's explain this a different way. Um, Okay, there's no treasure I can possibly get now. I'll have to get it later if I get it at all. When the fires disappear. Um, the issue. Oh, okay. The issue with thyroid problems, the reason they can present themselves um, as mental illness um, is because of the connection between your thyroid and your brain in the first place. So it's not just like a metabolic thing where it makes you more hungry or makes you more anxious or whatever, right? There's a certain, I mean, stress hormones communicate with your brain or your nervous system to your brain. Um, no, we don't need a mithril sword. The mithril knife, we have one already. We just don't use it. Where did I get it from?